right, our military family is at the airport. They're picking us up, and we're going to the military base.
Where are we?
San Jose, California.
Hey! Nice to meet you. Are you excited?
Oh yeah.
We're so excited.
I'm sure you get this all the time. Friends who come over and film you.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Film your life.
This is us.
Hello. Hey guys.
Markian.
Markian, nice to meet you.
And Aphomia. Aphomia, right?
Aphomia, yeah.
Hi,
nice to meet you. Thanks so much for picking us up.
Hana and Nick are adopting us for 24 hours to show us what a military family's life is really like. This is not your cliche YouTuber challenge video where we undergo torturous physical training. This is something deeper. So let's first get settled into our new home.
Thank you. You made it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you got it.
Please take off your shoes.
Sure. Hi.
Hey, what's your name?
My name's Mattis.
That's Markian. Nice to meet you.
This is Artie.
Hey.
She's the newest member of our family. It's Artie May. It is short for artillery, which is Nick's first job in the Marine Corps. And then May, the first woman Marine, her name was Ofa May. And so she's a military dog.
The dog's name is Artillery. We are in for a treat. This is episode 9 of my favorite series where I'm living with 10 families around the US to learn what it means to be American. Today we are not exploring an ethnic culture, but an occupational culture. What does being American mean to people in the military?
The last thing is, what's the plan for tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow is going to be, once we get going, it's going to be nonstop.
So we'll be up at 7?
Yeah, if y'all wake up earlier than that, it's fine.
Tomorrow night is the big event. We got a special invitation to the Marine Corps Ball, a traditional celebration of Marines. What is a Marine? I'm gonna work on figuring that out.
I'm really interested and curious about all the things we're going to learn about tomorrow, about the military and people who devote their lives to fighting for their country. I don't understand it, but I want to learn about it. Good night.
You're just so weird.
Yeah,
Why?
because I think that's what they do. We'll learn about it tomorrow. At 6:30 a.m., real military style.
What is this?
So this is the shit on a shingle, or just better known as SOS. And for lunch, I told you you're gonna have to be very adventurous today. Can you explain the SOS again, like you did last night?
Oh yeah, so there's a way to make ingredients last for a lot of people. They take bread. Most of the time they'll throw meat and flour, like gravy. They're able to serve hundreds of people.
It's a way to kind of sustain and have a lot of food.
Yeah.
Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm putting Tabasco sauce on the table because the food in the military is not always great, but Tabasco sauce makes it better.
Gives it a little flavor.
So curious.
It was not good, but I was too afraid of being impolite, so I made a comment that wasn't a compliment, but wasn't offensive.
Yeah, it's basically like gravied beef on toast.
And who was this? You said people in the Navy?
For the most part, it was in the Navy cookbook in like the early 1900s.
Today I'm going to ask you guys all about what the military is. What is Navy? What is Marines? What is Air Force?
So I asked a bunch of my friends, what is something you wish people who don't know anything about the military to know about the military? And like a lot of them said, I just want them to know the difference between Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, because
They just call everybody soldiers.
and it like offends people. Like if you're not in the Army and you get called a soldier, people get really offended.
Oh, so soldiers like not like a.
Yeah, that's what
you.
you. So people in the Army are soldiers, and then people in the Navy are sailors.
Okay, and that's water people.
Yeah, they're mostly based on ships, on those gigantic ships that you see.
And so Marines is what?
Just Marines.
And what did they do?
The Army sets up the base, and then everybody else kind of uses it to go in and out of. So we deploy from the ships. So we do the things that the Navy can't do. We just go in and take, and then we're supposed to be out.
We've had people from other branches tell us, like, you guys are kind of a different breed.
What's the stereotype, or what are they known for?
Our training is the longest to become a Marine. We have the toughest physical fitness standards.
Yeah, we used to do crunches, 100 crunches in 2 minutes.
100 crunches in 2 minutes?
Yeah, but they figured out that's bad for your back. It causes a lot of issues, so now they do planks. And planks are 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yeah.
It's pretty miserable.
The training sounds extreme, but they need to prepare people for war. Nick brings us to his office to share his personal stories.
This is your office?
It's a combined office. She works in here. I just put my stuff in here. This is part of my comic book collection. The stuff right there.
Look at y'all up there.
I didn't realize that was you, Nick.
It's the hair. So here's a photo of Nick when he was a drill instructor.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
This is
That's Nick?
Yeah.
the one who's yelling.
Yeah, the one who's yelling.
I was getting nice general stories from them, but I wanted to go deeper with their military background. What have they actually done?
You got a lot of like memorabilia. And
Yeah, lots of stuff.
what is all this?
All of the stuff that we wear on the uniforms, the medals and the ribbons on the other side, is kind of like a history of our service. It's almost like a resume.
There's so many medals there.
This is a combat action ribbon. That is one that is like Marines. If you don't have a combat action ribbon, they're like,
You get no respect.
I know. It's so stupid. It's so stupid.
It's like their sole purpose in life is to fight. And the ones that don't get like, they're supporting everybody that is in the fight. So she used to put rockets, build rockets and put them on fixed wing aircraft and on helicopters.
Yeah.
And they used to go out and shoot those in support of the guys that are fighting on the ground.
And Nick, are you still in it?
Oh yeah, I'm 20, it'll be 22 in July, next July.
And what's your role in it?
So starting out, as I was in artillery, so shooting cannons. But I moved up quickly and became a section chief, so I owned a cannon. I think I was 19, I couldn't even drink.
Yeah.
But I could launch 100-pound rounds downrange.
Wow.
And they trusted me with $1 million worth of gear and eight Marines.
Shooting cannons at 19. This is real stuff. I pushed to hear about Nick's moments on the battlefield.
So you fought in real life
My job was artillery, but we didn't go as artillery
when you were where?
in Iraq. This is one of the only times that it's like ever happened where an artillery unit has left their cannons and picked up rifles and gone and fought on the front lines. And that was 2004, 2005 in Iraq. And that was like the height of the insurgency.
Insurgents. What is an insurgent?
Enemy combatant.
Yeah. Okay.
And
So
they were
whoever's
from-
there is people to kill, basically.
Yeah, they literally sprinkled pamphlets from aircraft, dropped them out, told them if they didn't leave the city, they would be considered an insurgent.
Wow. To the people living
To the
there.
people in the city.
We were so young, so we're just there and do what we're told.
And do your job.
And now, like looking back, I'm like, ugh, you know.
Yeah, you have no involvement in the, I guess, the decisions or the politics or the
Yeah.
any
That's
of it.
why the military is the extension of politics after politics fails.
And what does that mean?
When the talking doesn't work,
Yeah.
then they send in the muscle.
It's really interesting for me because I haven't had a perspective. I haven't met someone who's in the military or
Some of the trauma that service members face after they get out, like whether it's PTSD, it's not just what they've seen in combat, but it's also guilt from what they couldn't do there and them coming back here and living, just going on with their life, you know, so.
So it was cool to check out their office and see kind of their accolades and what they've done in the Marines over the last 10, 20 years. Trying to get a sense of like what they've really accomplished and how intense their lives have been.
To answer this, Nick took us to his garage to show how his family deals with the painful challenges they face.
You said this is like a side hustle you guys have?
Yeah, so each one tells a different story about the person that owns it. Yeah, so Staff Sergeant Haney, he died in an aircraft accident, and his wife sent me his stuff to shadow box for him.
It's a box with your credentials on it, kind of thing.
Yeah, uniforms, mementos.
People with their mental health journey, with the things that they've gone through in their career, with this, being able to look at it and reflect on the things that they've done and help them get through the cycle of whatever trauma they went through so they can tell their story. It's like a book.
It seems like there's a deep emphasis on mental health.
Hannah does a lot of stuff with military and veteran mental health. It's something that she's been super passionate about for a long time.
Nick was hit by a mortar and it knocked him unconscious, and so he suffered a traumatic brain injury. Essentially, your brain just gets shaken inside of your head.
Is there any like treatments that he has to take for it, or does he have any?
I feel like it's a ticking time bomb sometimes because I'm always wondering like when is it gonna get worse? It's always in the back of my mind, like, you know, is he gonna have early onset Alzheimer's or dementia? Like, am I gonna lose him? And so I don't know, sorry.
No, don't apologize.
That's really tough.
The Pentagon is reporting a big jump in the number of American troops diagnosed with traumatic brain injuries.
Between 9 and 28% of service members experienced a traumatic brain injury. This is not a tiny size, but it probably does not get voiced much due to people fearing that it makes them seem weak.
Our kids are very aware of what's going on, and so we try to shield them from it as much as we can, but the truth is they're military kids and they're around it all the time.
I think it's just so powerful for you to be just sharing these stories and like sharing the mental struggles of all this.
Yeah.
And I think hopefully this just brings more awareness to people and makes them feel okay with whatever they're going through as well.
I mean, people talk about going to urgent care when they're sick. Like, it's no big deal, and it should be the same with mental health. And not just the military, just in general, you know.
I feel so fortunate to be able to talk to these people who are living and experiencing it and learn from them. And tonight is the big event. Tonight is the Marine Corps Ball. I think it's a big celebration of all Marines, and I'm curious to just hear all perspectives on what it means to be American from a military person's perspective.
So what's the plan for today?
Well, we got the commissary.
What is that?
It's
Is
our
that a
grocery store.
Oh, okay,
It's a
cool.
government grocery store.
It's a tradition to visit a cultural supermarket in each episode of this series, so let's see what the commissary is all about.
So we're walking into commissary, which is basically their military grocery store. I think we're looking for some special ready-made meals.
So what are these?
These are called meal ready to eat. I can't wait for you guys to try these.
I'm excited. So how long do these last before they expire?
Years. Yeah.
I think, right?
10 years.
MREs are super high in calories and are meant to fuel people on the battlefield for a long time.
So Hannah just mentioned that there's a lot of American flags on base.
Oh yeah.
So it's a patriotic town. I mean,
Yeah, it is. We always have our flags out, but I mean, you can tell they're from Texas. Come and take it.
It's interesting to note different communities' relationships with the American flag. The Texans value it, but with equal pride towards their Texan flag, while the Hawaiians' loyalty is not to the American flag, but to the Hawaiian flag.
You ready to try it, Mari?
yeah, I'm ready to try this military food.
Okay. So you're gonna have to follow the instructions on this. I'm gonna have you do it.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. So you have to peel the top off. That's your heater.
The heater?
Yeah. You're gonna pour water up until about right here. Don't overfill it.
Yep. Put the meal inside.
And then if you feel it, it's starting to get.
It starts to heat up.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not the best.
Yeah. It's not gonna taste that great.
Let's try this out.
Here we go.
Is it really good?
Not bad.
I feel like
It's like Chef Boyardee.
While we are bonding through the MREs, I was curious to ask the kids what the military family lifestyle is like for them.
Wait, how many places have you lived in?
So 5. So
5.
6 for me. That's more than you, Markian.
Oh yeah. And Nick, you also grew up as a military kid, right?
Yeah, New Hampshire for a little while, New Mexico, Alabama, Oklahoma, California.
I'm envious of those who I feel like have a stable home life, but I don't think I would be happy not moving around though. I really like that we've experienced different parts of the country.
Absolutely. This resonates so much with me because this is the story of third culture kids.
Yeah.
I totally relate with like feeling like you're from everywhere but belonging nowhere.
Yeah.
Ah, third culture kids, my favorite topic. Since you asked about my background, I'm half American, half French, and grew up in Russia, Spain, and Hong Kong. Anyways, back to the other TCKs.
So we're entering the base right now. So we're helping Nick set up for the big ball that's happening tonight, which he is kind of in charge of. It's very grandiose. Can't wait for tonight.
So this is the Purple Heart Medal for those wounded in combat. We have dog tags on here, but if you see, there's no names on it.
Everything has a meaning behind it.
Yeah, the military, I don't know if you noticed, is really big on tradition.
What you doing?
I'm setting up the flags for tonight.
Oh, look at you decorating. Markian, your favorite thing.
I started to feel nervous about following all the traditions that will happen tonight. I don't want to do anything wrong by accident.
So Nick is basically preparing the presentation that's going to happen tonight when they have all the formalities, the traditions, the salutes, the music, whatever. I don't know how to act, and I don't know my do's and don'ts. How does the salute work? Do you stand when the national anthem plays? Like what? And so hopefully they can teach me a little bit about that before.
As I was getting ready, the excitement started to build, knowing that I'm going to be surrounded by hundreds of military people, which will be the perfect time to ask my main question. What does it mean to be American?
All right, tonight's going to be fun.
3, 2, 1.
Whoa! Cheers.
Cheers.
Getting a little celebration drink before we head out.
Are there certain people that you do salute to and don't salute to?
Yeah, like anybody that's below my rank, I return a salute to them. But anyone who's above me, then I give them a salute.
Definitely did not try and salute before I went to bed. Are there any formalities or do's or don'ts we should be aware of?
Stand for the national anthem and put your hand over your heart.
What if you don't know the national anthem?
You don't say.
Oh, you don't have to sing it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Fleming, you're here to party?
Don't do that to me. I was asked to hold it. You know I don't drink.
Hi, how are you doing?
You look so sharp.
So this is pregame? Pregame time?
Pre-game, yeah.
Feels like we're in college again.
I ordered the
It's been a long time for me.
I wasn't expecting to be tailgating with people who shoot guns and risk their lives. I thought they would be a lot more uptight, but I guess this is their one day to let loose.
All right, we're walking over. There's a lot of people. Everyone's dressed up in their uniforms. My objective for tonight is to really ask people the deep questions of what does being American mean to you, and what does patriotism look like for people who dedicate their lives to fighting for their country.
On November 10th, 1775, a Corps of Marines was created by a resolution of Continental Congress. Since that date, many thousand men have borne the name Marine.
There is a lot of history that can be felt in the ceremony. Meanwhile, I'm creeping around with the camera trying to blend in. As we commemorated the people who have died, it made me even more curious to understand why these Marines sacrifice so much for their country.
What does America mean to you, and why do you dedicate your life to fighting for it?
That's a hard question.
To me, I think being American is about determining who you are and pursuing those things you want to pursue.
I'm a byproduct of an immigrant family. I love this country due to that fact. It's also one of the few places that I believe you can come to and really make something of yourself from scratch.
The fact that anybody can, go from nothing to something here, like the opportunities that are afforded, I just think that's something truly special that not everywhere in the world has, and it's worth protecting.
I know that a lot of people right now would probably have a hard time answering that. It's the land of freedom, and I want to protect that belief.
I like freedom and opportunity too, but I'm not willing to risk my life for it and join the Marine Corps and suffer through that. Why would you do that?
If not me, then who, right? So if we don't do it, who is going to do it?
If you truly are about this country and you love what it's about and everything you live for, when it comes down to it, you will fight for what you truly believe in.
Would you say you're patriotic?
100% I'm patriotic. I have an appreciation for a country that allows you to try to live your life the best way possible.
We support the Constitution, not a specific president.
It's just fascinating how deep their feelings run for this country. I don't have any connection to any country. I don't have a sense of pride for any country, but I really appreciate and respect how they value what they have and they don't take it for granted.
Ready to open up that dance floor?
So we've eaten dinner. I think people are gonna start dancing. Maybe there's gonna be music. This has been such an insightful peek into people's lives, into people's mindsets in the military. The last thing on my list is to ask about Nick's Purple Heart injury.
Is there anywhere you want to start?
No, I mean, I think I always start somewhere different. November 7th, November 8th is when all of this happened. We were told just to pack up our stuff. We're going to, we need to go to Ramadi. It's a large town right outside of Baghdad. And it just starts to intensify. And we've got a little bit of armor, but not much. And I'm delivering sandwiches while we're getting shot at. And on my way back, I'm like halfway between my vehicle and the vehicle that I just left. And there's just like, all I hear is people just yelling like, get down, and just boom, boom, boom. And then I don't remember anything. I wake up behind my Humvee where I'd been drugged to. I was like, I'm good. I'm good. I wasn't good. I don't know, I wasn't good for a long time after that. A couple years ago, I couldn't even get it out.
What was the reason why you couldn't get it out?
Because there are dudes that died. There are guys that lost limbs. There are guys that had trauma that they will never recover from, and it's visible. And mine is, it's all internal. And I just didn't know how to deal with anything. I was just mad. and I didn't know why I was mad. I went to a therapist, and all I had to do was talk about it. I didn't want to talk about it. But the moment that I did and I started sharing it, that was like the first step in the direction of like getting better.
So the last question is, what does being American mean to you, and why do you have this desire to fight for your country?
Something more than yourself, like serving a purpose that is greater than anything you've ever done, and that purpose is helping others.
Yeah, that's so special.
It is 2 a.m. right now. That is it. We did it. This is what it means to be American. We'll see you in the next episode.